Hi. Right, I think, yes, I'll make a start. We were just getting a little bit of feedback in our space, but I will introduce myself first of all as Claire Lightoilers. I work for the Condition Management Programme, and just for the participants, I just want to let you know that the session is being recorded, so I hope that you're happy with that. So the Condition Management Programme is a programme that's funded by the Department for Communities and employs staff from the Health Western Trust staff. So my role is exercise professional, but there's a multidisciplinary team with the people that we work with. And so I am involved in trying to just get people active again, either because they have an ongoing health condition, or they've had an injury at work, or they've had a period of stress or depression, and it's both physical companies and mental health conditions that we deal with. So I use a lot of Pilates with the people that I see. It tends to be one-to-one Pilates, but we do small groups as well. But I'll also take people, we'll go out for a walk, we have a weekly walking group, we might do more one-to-one sort of higher intensity stuff, so it might be a wee bit more like a circuit class. We might do head out for cycling, and we might take people into a gym environment if that's what they want. So it's very much client-led. But I thought today we would do a wee bit of Pilates, really because I feel people maybe aren't so sure what it is and what's involved. So it is a challenging form of exercise if you want to make it challenging, but likewise it's a nice introduction to exercise if you've been somebody that hasn't been very active for a while. It lets you become a wee bit more body aware, so you sort of get a feel again of what your body's capable of doing, what feels right, what feels wrong, because it's a little bit more slow and controlled. So it was designed by a man called Joseph Pilates way back. He was way above him, or way ahead of himself, and he would have had a few health conditions himself and decided that exercise was going to be his way of improving his quality of life. And so the principles that he set his exercises up with is that they would be based on centering, which is looking at this sort of core part of your body. So everything behind your six-pack muscles, round your waist, down either side of your spine, your pelvic floor as well. So that center, like corset area of your body, trying to embrace and use that. It would involve an element of concentration. So you are, as I said, trying to focus on how your body's moving, and it's the quality of your movement rather than just doing it for the sake of doing it. There's a control aspect in it. So it does tend to be slightly slower movements so that you can keep an element of control rather than work to the beat of the music or anything like that. Precision is important. So as I said, the quality is what we're looking at. Then we do look at balance, both standing balance and lying balance, and alignment and the way that your body, you perform your movements, and then the flow of the movements. So again, things should move easily from one position into the other. You're not up and down and all over the place. And likewise, the movement wants to flow. So you want to feel that if you're moving in a circle, that has a nice balanced circle rather than it's jerking all over the place. So what I want to do is do a few movements myself. You're welcome to join in and take part if you have a little bit of floor space available. Or you can just watch and hopefully gain a wee bit more understanding of what Pilates is. So as I said, core is the important thing, and it's not your six-pack. A lot of people think it's just your six-pack muscles, but it's not. It's those deeper abdominal muscles. There's ones that sort of start at your front and then travel through and connect down here at your lower back, and it's those deep abdominal muscles that we're looking at engaging, working around your waist, lower back. So anybody with back problems, it can be quite a nice form of exercise. Again, it's not a one thing fits all, but if you do have very tight lower back muscles, or you've had sort of ongoing pain, some of the mobility work will be nice to sort of stretch it out. But we'll also work on the mobility in your shoulders, mobility and strength in your hips. And so it is all over. We're not just working on your tummy. And the movements are either to help you mobilize, so sort of make you move more freely, not make you hypermobile, but just allow you to move a wee bit more, so that we're not all stiffening up the way we tend to be at the minute. Or it's about strengthening your muscles. So it is about building the strength in those shoulders and core and lower back and bottom and all of those areas. So if we start, oh, the other thing I want to explain, you've lost my head now, hold on. I've lost the map. I might have to pull back a wee bit. So what I want you to understand as well is that your pelvic floor, yes, if you pull back, my lovely assistant is going to pull the whole machine back. Okay, hopefully see me. So what we're aiming for is your pelvic mobility. So this comes into play quite a lot. And what I want you to think about is your pelvis is like a bucket of water that is filled with water. And if you tilt your bucket forward, then all the water will spill out the front of your bucket. And if you tilt your bucket back, then all the water will spill out the back of your bucket. So from the side, it would look that you're tilting forward, that's the water spilling out the front, tilting back, water spilling out the back. So this ability to move this part of your pelvis is important, and people will find it difficult. So they might find they can move one way quite easily, but then it's tight or stiff the other way. So over time, the aim would be that we free that up a bit so that you are more mobile in that area. So if you hear me talking about your bucket, that's what I'm talking about. So first of all, just as you stand, I want you to come to the end of your mat, and you're going to do what's called a roll down. Can everybody see and hear me okay? Just put a chat up if there's any issues. Let me just check. Okay, if there's any problems, just let me know through chat. So you're going to start tall. You're going to drop your chin first of all, curve through your shoulders, and roll your spine down, vertebra by vertebra. You only go as far as you feel comfortable with hamstring, and then roll back up through, stacking your vertebra up, vertebra by vertebra. So if you imagine like a string of pearls or a string of beads, you're going to go bead by bead, roll through, relaxing at the bottom so you're like a rag doll, and then rolling back up. And so you just go as far as your body feels comfortable with. It may be that you just do the upper half of your spine because it doesn't feel comfortable to roll any further, and that's okay. So we'll do one more. So you're looking to get as much length out of your back as you can. From here, we're going to roll it down onto the mat. We're going to roll through. Take your hands along the floor and bring it down onto your fours. Liz, can you just check if you can see the mat? So from here, you're going to draw your belly button up towards your spine. So you're going to try and engage these core muscles. And it's about thinking that you're going to keep your back stable or flat, but you're trying to draw your tummy up towards the ceiling. So you're engaging strong in the center. You're then going to extend through one arm and the opposite leg, lengthen out, and then slowly bring them back down together. And then switch sides. You're going to lengthen and then bring back. So as the arms and legs are moving, that's not really the focus. What I want you to focus on is what's happening here in the center. So you're trying to keep your tummy and your lower back as stable as you can. And that's where your balance and your concentration are coming in. And then just reach out and hold. So whenever you reach long, try and keep it as balanced as possible. And then you're going to tuck and curl into a wee ball and then extend. Curl into a ball and extend. So we're adding in a little bit of a crunch through those tummy muscles, but still trying to keep stable. So there's even balanced weight through your hand and your knee. One more. And relax. Bend out into the other side. And the same thing then. Once you're nice and balanced, tuck in and reach out. So with all these movements, you just work at the level that feels comfortable for you. If you feel more happy to just extend and hold, just do that. That's one. From there, just want you to come down to sit. And again, can you just change? Can you see that? Yeah. So, sitting down, you're going to allow the soles of your feet to come together. but you can let your knees drop out wide and just allow them to relax. Your feet don't have to be enclosed. You're trying then to have a level bucket. Okay, so rather than collapsing down, I want you to try and lift up onto the tailbone, onto your tall spine. Relax your shoulders, bring forearms on top of themselves, and then taking a breath in. Exhale, rotate one way. Inhale back to the center. Rotate, back into the center. So pelvis isn't able to move because it's planted to the ground, but we're getting a nice rotational movement through the upper half of the body, trying to turn that thoracic spine. One more. So the purpose of today, because I'm short on time, I'm going to try and take you through a few of the varied positions that we would do exercises in. So there will be other sitting exercises that we'll do. Again, always working on your posture and your alignment as you do it. From here, if I take you to the front end of your mat, so I want you to think about your bucket. And sitting tall, first of all, you should feel your bottom bones and underneath you. I want you then to try and think of tilting your bucket. So you're going to spill the water out the back of your bucket. Okay, and it's creating what they call a C curve. So your spine is in this C position. I want you to scoop your tummy in, so you're drawing your belly button in nice and strong, relaxing your shoulders, and just hold there. Try and relax the legs. And then just to learn, I want you to tilt the pelvis back up into that tall posture. Again, tilt and lower. And then lift back up. Okay, as we just check, you can see the mat. Maybe you can tilt this. Okay, so the bucket is tilted and lifted. And then I just want you to tilt that bucket back, scoop the tummy in, and release the arms. So this, you should feel effort in your tummy to hold this position. You might feel a little bit in your hip flexors, which is okay, but ultimately over time the aim is to take a wee bit of that effort away from your legs so that you can just relax your legs. And the more you roll down, the more you're going to feel effort in that tummy. But I want you to scoop through the tummy. And then you can open the arms, and you should feel that it's even more challenging. Okay, your arms seem to weigh in on board. And then bring your arms back in, roll it back up, and sit tall. So from here, we're going to try and roll all the way down with control. So you're going to tilt the bucket, roll down through the spine, vertebra by vertebra again, down into that flat position, and then roll back up. So you're going to lift through the head, roll through, vertebra by vertebra, back to that tall position. So it shouldn't have momentum. You might feel that you'll tilt, you'll roll so far, and then this part of the back is stiff or tight, and you'll kind of go, whoa. And in order to get back up, you might get so far and then feel that you're stuck, and you'll have to use a bit of momentum to get you up. So what is happening is that we're stiff here, and you're not able to create enough curve in that spine, and the tummy muscles aren't engaging enough. So over time, the aim would be that we can really work on getting the mobility through the pelvis, mobilizing through your spine, keeping control through the tummy, so that you can get through that little middle part where it becomes more challenging. So those are called roll downs. From here, then you're going to keep lying nice and flat, nice and relaxed. Just as a little practice, again, you can do what they call a pelvic tilt. So you're going to think about your bucket, and you're going to tilt your bucket back, and then tilt your bucket forward. Tilting back and forward. So you're trying to get that little bit of mobility in your lower back. And this is a really nice sort of stretching exercise if anybody has a tight lower back. And then from here, I want you to find a neutral place, so where your spine feels comfortable. It can have its natural curves, that's okay. You're going to lift one leg, so your knee is above the line of your hip, and your shin is parallel to the ground, and then lift the other. So again, the effort should be here in your tummy rather than in your lower back. Okay, if you're feeling it in your lower back, you can draw your knees towards you just ever so slightly, and it should release it a little bit. But we're aiming to try and reach this vertical position. So draw the belly button down, relax the shoulders, relax the neck, and just hold nice and little. And you should be feeling that the tummy is working pretty hard. This would be a base position and for lots of other movements. So we would try and build up from here. There might be single leg floats. Right, so you're going to let one leg float away and then draw back up. But again, nothing changes from here up. Everything's nice and stable. So there are things with bent legs, there are things with straightened legs. So sometimes the legs will go up and it might be a single leg lower. But there'll be lots of different progressions in this, and so it's about working within your own level. And if you were doing any sort of class, then anything with a straight leg will always be hard. So there's lots of variations for there. Then if I take you over onto your side. So with Pilates, we do again focus on alignment. So if I'm using the back of my mat as a guideline, I'm trying to have my hand, shoulder, hips and feet all in line. I'm going to let my head relax. And then what happens is we sort of collapse here in the middle and we kind of fall in towards the floor. So to try and adjust that, it's about trying to push this top hip away so that now your pelvis is level again. I've got my two hips stacked on top of each other. Now both legs should be the same length rather than one being shorter. I want you to draw your belly button in to try and hold your balance. So you're using those core muscles to keep you stable. Now initially this hand can help. Okay, so this hand can give you a little bit of balance if need be. But over time the aim is then to take that hand away and you're just going to lift and over. So this isn't a new exercise by any stretch of the imagination, but it might have been done differently in other scenarios. Very often it was about kicking up really high. That's not wrong, it's just that it's a sort of different concept. Whereas with Pilates, it's more about working within the range of this particular muscle group and trying to keep everything else balanced and stable while you do it. So it's a wee bit more specific. We're kind of maybe stripping some of the movements back a little bit to just challenge this one area. We might do a certain number here in this position. We might do some with bent knees. This would be a clam or oyster. So it would be a bent leg with feet together. Lifting and lowering. But again, the aim is to make sure your pelvis stays stacked on top of itself. And it can be amazing how heavy this leg feels very quickly, because you're just using one of these small group of muscles in here at the side too. But again, a really good strengthening exercise for people with back problems or hip problems. So it's a nice sort of controlled one. So there will be lots of different sideline exercises we can do. We're going to do the other leg in a minute. Then we'll do things lying on your front. So if we were here, again, mobility would be important as well. So there's a movement called the diamond press. Fingertips touch out in front, elbows are nice and wide. This is just to mobilize the very top half of your spine. So you'll start relaxed and then lead with your nose, push the shoulder blades down into the floor, and then roll back down. So it's nice and controlled. We're looking to try and lengthen the spine as much as we can. If we were sort of progressing that, then it might be about taking it into a cobra, which you would see in yoga a lot as well. So quite a lot of yoga and Pilates overlap. But you might start with the same idea. So we want you to lead with your nose and the head, drop the shoulder blades down, but then you'll continue and try to push into the hand, rolling through. It's not about knocking the arms out, that's not important. It's just going as far as you feel you can and then rolling back down. So it's belly button, chest, and nose. Again. But you just go as far as your spine feels comfortable. Trying to keep the legs relaxed, feet on the floor. Very hard to talk in this position. So there may be strengthening exercises we can do in this position too. So if we were to relax the upper half of your body, we would have feet and ankles about hip distance apart. And then try and lift the legs and lower back down. So this time the upper body's relaxing. You're trying to squeeze your bottom cheeks in order to lift the legs. Right? If you find that really challenging, it would be that you would do one leg at a time, right, and control it that way. And again, there's lots of different progressions with these sort of movements. Slight small differences in that we might change the position of the legs, go out a little bit wider, which makes it all of a sudden very different. It changes it into these outsides of the thighs. So, different exercises on your front. Go to spin it round and do the other leg. Otherwise, I'll have one leg that's strong, one leg that's not. So, in a nice straight line, push that top hip away. Make sure you're nice and balanced, lifting and lowering. I'm going to show you another wee variation from this position. So, if you were to bring your both feet forward a little bit, lift that top leg, but just turn the leg. So, we want outward rotation. You're going to try and turn the knee and the thigh towards the ceiling. So, it has just changed the muscles that are working, and then you're going to lift and lower. Okay, so it's just a very small movement, but it does change what way it feels quite a lot. And that's really, it's those subtleties that are important in Pilates. So again, this will be a strengthening exercise. Next one. Okay, so again, that little shift is really just about the position of your hip within its socket. We're just rotating the hip within that. And if we were to do a few mobility exercises to finish. So we could lie flat, open the arms nice and wide, feet and ankles together, then just let the knees drop down to one side, turning the head the opposite way, and it would just be then about trying to relax into this position. So you're going to try and take a few nice long deep breaths, exhale a little bit. You can increase it by just letting this leg lift and drop over a little bit further. So what you're looking for is that rotation here in this lower part of the back. Again, you can also see. So a few nice long breaths. Now back up to center, switching over. Same idea. Back to center. We might do a hip flexor stretch, so you would draw this knee in towards you, lengthen the other leg along the floor. Again, with stretches, it's about working with your body and what feels comfortable. A stretch shouldn't ever be in a place where it's like shaking violently, or it's making you hold your breath, or there's actual strong, sharp pain. But a stretch, you will feel it. You want to feel it. But if you stay in that stretch for a period of time, that effort or that feeling should release a wee bit. From here, then we can stretch. This would stretch your hamstring, the back of your thigh. Again, the alignment's important. Okay, you've got to try and make sure that this knee is straight. Try and make sure that the other leg is lengthened out straight away from the hip. That you're lying still nice and flat, so you haven't pulled up towards the leg. Yours might be here, okay, but that's okay. It will be a starting place. Sometimes wrapping something around the back of your foot will allow you then to pull that leg towards you and increase that stretch in your hamstring. Most people have tight hamstrings. It's a sort of scenario based on the fact that most of us sit too much, whether that's at work, whether that's in transport, in the car, at home. Most of us have tight hamstrings. And then if you play anything like football or Gaelic or cycling or running, they'll tend to be tighter. So a bit of stretching will always be beneficial. And so we will always do an element of stretching within the Pilates class. It might be within some of the strengthening exercises. We'd intermingle. I suppose I could show you one for your shoulders actually, which is quite nice. It's called Y and W. So you go out into a Y position with your arms. Try and keep the armpits open, so they're pointed up towards the ceiling. Back so the hands are on the floor, and you're going to lead with the elbows, slide down into like a W position, and then push back up into a Y position. The key is to try and keep the backs of the wrists and the hands on the floor. Once they start lifting, then you kind of lost your range of movement. So you just go as far as your arms allow, keeping contact with the floor. So if you were to see it from a bird's eye view, you would be here in a Y, and then pulling down into a W, out to a Y, down into a W. Really nice capability exercise. Then generally at the end of the class, we have a short period of relaxation. So I think it's a nice opportunity for people to just shut down for a short period of time. I don't think we do it enough in the world. We're always on that hamster wheel. So I think it's quite nice when you're guided through it, when there's somebody that actually is just going to lead you through that little bit of relaxation. And really it's just giving you an opportunity to close your eyes, allow the muscles to relax, release a wee bit of stress and tension, and then bring you back up into standing. So it will be within CMP. We often use this room that you actually see, and we would do it one-to-one. So it means that I can adjust and give you alternatives depending on your health condition as it is. I have people that are really quite physically capable, but it's all a little bit more about kind of closing their mind and their thoughts down a little bit. And because with Pilates you have to think about what you're doing, it doesn't then allow you to be thinking about everything else that's normally stressing you out. So again, it's a nice wee escape, if nothing else, for a period of time. Or it's more that people have a limited range of movement somewhere because of pain or because of condition or because of an injury. And the mobility aspect of the Pilates and the strengthening aspect is really rehabilitative for them, and so it can just give them more freedom to then step into doing other activities and be able to work more freely from home and everything else. So, thank you for joining me. If there are any other questions regarding Pilates or CMP, feel free to get in touch. I suppose we are online through the Western Health and Social Care Trust. You can access us as one of the other services, so it would be the condition management programme. Or Google Pilates and have a little bit more knowledge now about what you might be looking for. There are lots of instructors out there. There's lots of local classes whenever they start back up again, but I would recommend